It is a pleasure to be here at the Millionaires Conference with you guys. So, you guys don't know me. I'm going to talk with my hands. I do that. I'm sorry, but it is what it is, right? We get very expressive with our hands. So, I am D.Renee, the transformation specialist, and I support women with overcoming obstacles to help them elevate in life and business. I am a certified transformational life coach as well as a licensed therapist, and I support women with being able to rediscover who they are, help them increase their self-esteem and their self-confidence, eliminate and dispel limiting beliefs so that they can walk freely into their purpose and create the life they desire to have in the business they desire to have, right? So, you guys, I am super excited to share with you this today, and I hope you guys are getting as much information as you can from this Millionaires Conference. Like, there are so many women here that's here to help pour into you and bring life and speak life into you as well as your business so that you can go and rock out 2019, right? So, you guys, again, I am D.Renee, and I'm here to share with you guys about how to transform your life so that you can walk into your purpose, right? People throw around walking into their purpose loosely, but for real, walk into your purpose. Because after I share with you these three amazing things that I've done, not only to create transformation in my own life, yep, I've been through some stuff. You may not look like it, but I have. I have been through some things, right? Y'all see that? I've been through some things. So not just my life, but some of the life that but in the lives of some of my clients that I service as well. So, you guys, let me tell you a little bit about my background and how I came about with my transformation. So I about 10 years ago, I decided to go on a journey to change my life, right? It was a bad breakup. You know, we know women, I'm talking to y'all. A bad breakup can cause you to change a whole lot of things. So I know I'm not the only one. I'm talking to somebody out there who know that a bad breakup will cause you to change a whole lot of things. But anyways, in my instance, it was more than just a bad breakup. So for me, I had, my history is that I was molested when I was 3 years old. I lived most of my childhood and college life and, all the way up until I was like 27, um, is when I started to actually go on my own journey to transformation. So was struggling with low self-esteem a whole lot. I was in and out of bad relationships, not necessarily getting what I wanted. And when I say bad relationships, it's not like I allowed people to misuse me. And it wasn't just the relationships that I was in, but it was even having toxic female relationships that I had with certain friends who kind of took advantage of me in certain because I wasn't assertive. I didn't know my worth. I didn't know my value. I was just trying to be liked. I was just trying to please everybody. I was just trying to get the love from people that I needed to get from myself and for myself and find that for myself. And I was seeking that from, the guys that I may have dated at the time. And so it allowed me to be very vulnerable and not necessarily take up for myself. So, as a result of going through these things throughout my life, right, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was sick and tired of the broken relationships. I had two children out of wedlock, and I was in the last relationship at that time for a few years, and I was going through a bottle of Excedrin every week, you guys, every week because of the migraines, because of the stress, because of the mental turmoil that I was in, because what was people gonna think? Oh, she had another baby out of wedlock. Oh, this, she's so stupid. You know, she just graduated with her master's degree. She has a house. Like, how could she be so dumb? How could she be so stupid to do this? How could this? How could that? Like, all these things were going through my mind, and I did what I could to try to stay so my son can have his father, so that I won't have to deal with the people, what people were saying, how people was going to look at me, how people was going to react to me. I was just, guys, I was in a world of hurt. I was in a world of hurt, and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I knew that I had to change something for myself. And as a result of me having to change something for myself, I knew that change started with me. I feel like Michael Jackson, you guys. I'm talking about the man in the mirror. That was me. And that may be you, right? But for real, you guys. So I knew that I had to not try to seek my healing or those things that I needed from other people. And I knew that I needed to try to get out there and do this myself. I had to figure this out for me, because I did not want to keep going from broken relationship to broken relationship. I needed to love me. I needed to be okay with me, my body, how I looked, my height. I'm tall. I'm very tall. And I needed to be okay with me, my big hands, my big feet, my flat chest. I mean, all these things, you guys, I'm just being honest. It is what it is. We're women, and it is what it is. Sometimes we just don't like what we see. And that was me at the time. That was really me. And I really could not see the beauty in what everybody else was saying to me. I was raised in a single mom home. I didn't have that role model because my mama was constantly working. When she wasn't working, she was with whomever she was dating at the time. And we didn't get that chance. Like, I didn't have that woman to woman relationship with my mom where daughter mom, mother-daughter relationship with my mom, so that we can have that bonding time, so that I can get fed and empowered and all of that. Matter of fact, I had just the opposite, not with my mom, but I had an aunt. Now listen to this, y'all. I had an aunt at the age of 12 that told me that I was going to be just like the rest of the family and have a baby when I was 14 and 15 years old too. Right? That was my empowerment, right? That was really something for me to look forward to. But what she didn't know is I have been watching, and although I struggled with self-esteem issues, although I did not know how to love myself back then, and although all those things were going on with me, God had put something inside of me, right? He had put something inside of me in my spirit, and I didn't like the way they was living when they was 14 and 15 and having kids. I didn't like being in the projects. I didn't like it. That's not the life that I desired to have. So deep down inside, although she told me that, and that has forever stuck with me, I did not like it. So I had the desire just to not be like them. To not be like them anyway. I didn't want to be in no projects. I didn't want to live that kind of life. I mean, that's just what it was. So I got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I decided to do something better. But in that process, along the way, guess what I learned when I started my transformation? I was just like my family, but just on a higher level. I had 2 kids out of wedlock. I wasn't living in the projects. Matter of fact, I did buy me my first house at 22, but I wasn't living in the projects. However, I found myself struggling. A single parent with 2 kids out of wedlock, and yes, they have 2 different fathers, and they're almost 6 years apart. But I found myself struggling on a higher level than what they were at the time. And that's going to be important to you, because I'm going to tell you guys something later on, that's going to show you why that is important, because that was my driving force that kept me like going, so that I can try not to be like them, right? But later on, find out I was just like them on a higher level. So I started my transformation, you guys. And let me tell you something. One thing about transformation is permanent, because I wasn't this person today. But I knew that I wanted to be this person one day, right? And that is what I hope that someone out here that's been through hurt, that relationship wasn't your fault, that abuse wasn't your fault, that molestation wasn't your fault, that rape wasn't your fault, the fact that they mistreated you, they abused you, they talked about you, those things were not your fault. But guess what? It's your responsibility for your healing, although the wounds were not your fault. So I'm going to give you 3 ways to help you transform your life so that you can walk freely into your purpose and create the life you desire to have. If I did it, you can do it. Because guess what? I didn't have all this strength. I didn't have all this boldness before. Wait, let me rephrase that. I had it. I just didn't know I had it because I didn't see any of it. What I saw was not pretty. What I saw was somebody who was weak. What I saw was somebody who was, just trying to get somebody to love them. I didn't see all of this. So my destination to where I was going, I could not see it due to everything else that was consuming my time, that blinded me. The low self-esteem that blinded me, the rejection, the lack of love, all of those things that blinded me, that may be blinding you. So the way to transform your life, number 1, you start with transformation of yourself. Guess what that sounded like? Michael Jackson. I'm talking about the man in the mirror. Yeah, that's you. Lady in the mirror, you. Because that was me. So the only way to start your first transformation is, 1, you have to acknowledge that you even need a transformation. You have to acknowledge that there's something going on or something that happened that you need to transform into be a better version of yourself. And you want to be a better version. That's the key word. You want to be. You don't want to be stuck. You don't want to be in that place. You don't want your wound to continue to hinder you. You don't want that. You have to push past that. You want to move forward. So you have to acknowledge it. Then number 2, you have to accept it. I ain't accepting that. I don't want to deal with that. People want to walk around in denial. But the bottom line is it happened and you need to allow yourself to deal with it, because guess what? That stuff unconsciously affects your relationships. It affects your motivation, your mode of operation, the way that you're driving, the way that you're interacting, the way that you're getting along with people in life, in relationships, and business. It affects all of those things. So you have to accept those things, because they happen. You can't just ignore it and throw the whole person away. You can't do that. That's not realistic. So you have to acknowledge. And then after you acknowledge, then guess what? You have to take responsibility to get the healing that you need. Your happiness is your responsibility. Your emotional and mental wealth is your responsibility. People don't like to have to take responsibility. Well, I didn't do that. I wasn't responsible when he did this. I wasn't responsible when I was molested at 3 years old either. I was not. I was not. But guess what? I am responsible for healing myself and being able to move past those things that happened to me. I'm responsible for that. I wasn't responsible. Well, you know what? I was. I allowed. This is the key word, ladies. I allowed. We can allow people to do certain things to us. They don't just do it. I allowed these people to take advantage of me. I allowed myself to be mistreated in these relationships. I allowed him to be able to run over me, or I allowed X, Y, and Z to happen. I did that. I did that. I allowed it, and I took responsibility for it. And that's the key word. You have to take responsibility, whether it's good or bad or ugly. You guys, we have to take responsibility, because guess what? Leaders take responsibility. And if you're going to be a business owner, you have to take responsibility. Guess what? Because it does no good. It does no purpose. It serves no good in your business and in your life to just keep putting that on that other person. Because guess what? Now it's on you. That happened back then, but now it's on you. So you have to take responsibility, and you have to take responsibility for what you allowed that was within your control. Right? The key word was in your control to happen in your life, that you did not stop from happening, because you may have been in a vulnerable place and you didn't have the assertiveness, you didn't have the strength, you didn't have the boldness, you didn't have the toughness that you needed in order to be able to help yourself in that particular situation. And it's okay. And it's okay. But you have to take responsibility now and say, you know what? I did that. We can say we did a whole bunch of other things, but guess what? I did that. I allowed that to happen. And it's okay. So I'm going to forgive myself for that. But guess what? It's not going to hinder me. My hurt will not hinder me anymore. And that's where you have to be when you're talking about transforming yourself. You have to do your work, ladies. We have to do our work, because when we don't do our work, we bleed on everybody around us. That means family, friends, children, husband, and guess what? And you all are here seeking business, right? A lot of people, a lot of women out here, you guys want a business. So if you want to be the best business owner, you have to do your work. You have to be the best version of yourself. And if you have any pain, if you have any hurt, and you want to get rid of it, and you want to deal with it because you recognize that it's been affecting you, then guess what? Now is the time. Because if you don't do your work and you don't do the things that's necessary to help you get through this moment, then guess what? You're going to have issues as a business owner. Dealing with people, dealing with your employees, dealing with your customers. You're not going to be able to serve them at your highest capacity. You're not going to be able to give them the value that they need from you, in order to help them grow in whatever it is that they're seeking from you. Whatever it is that your business offers to them, you're not going to be able to give that to them at your highest capacity if you don't do your work. So that's number one. You have to transform yourself. Number two, there must be a transformation of the mind, right? Transformation of the mind. Our minds play tricks on you. Your mind will play tricks on you. Those negative thoughts will tell you all the bad stuff. Those negative thoughts will tell you how you don't deserve this, how you don't deserve that. It will bring up all your past about how you used to do this. Oh, I had 2 kids out of wedlock. Ain't nobody gonna listen to you. Don't nobody want to hear from you. You ain't got nothing to say. You ain't married. You ain't this. Look, your past is your past. All these negative things are going to come up constantly, because guess what? It knows that you are in fear. And guess where fear comes? From whatever the thoughts of you feeling inadequate in what it is that you're trying to do. And as a result of you feeling inadequate in what it is that you're trying to do, you have to prepare yourself mentally. You have to get your mind right in order to be able to walk this walk, in order to get your transformation together. Because guess what? If you don't have the mindset for it, it's not going to work. But guess what you do? Because the moment when you made the decision that you want to transform your life, you got your mind right. So in this part of transforming of the mind, meaning you have to deal with those negative thoughts. So this is what I teach. I teach 3 ways on how to um, create positive affirmations in your life. So one starts with I can, dot, dot, dot. You guys fill in the blank. Get your pizza, get your pencil, get your papers together. And because you need this, even if you've never dealt with self-esteem issues, even if you never dealt with any trauma, even if nothing's ever bothered you, guess what? We all can use these tips. We all can use these affirmations because guess what? We have to build ourselves up along on this walk. Because being in business for yourself, being a woman, having to deal with family, kids, husbands, things like that. Like we got to wear all the hats. We got to be the Uber driver, the Lyft driver. We got to be the airport shuttle. Whatever it is, we have to wear many hats. And as a result of it, we have to keep ourselves together. And it starts with your mind and those thoughts and things that are coming at you, telling you might not be doing a good job at this and you might not be doing a good job at that. So get your pencils and papers out. 3 ways, ladies. I want you to create 10 affirmations using starting with these 3 things. I am, dot, dot, dot. I can, dot, dot, dot. These dot, dot, dots is whatever you feel in there. And I will, dot, dot, dot. And you say at least 2 of each one of those every day. And you can say it multiple times a day. Some people say morning, noon, and night or whatever. I mean, that's your choice. However you choose to use them, just use them. That's the key. Just use them because it helps to strengthen you. And you can always add to them. And you can always throw the ones, throw the ones to the side that you really don't feel or that you feel isn't really working for you. Whatever. But guess what? I had a client that I had assigned her the task of watching The Secret DVD. So I'm going to give you guys that same task to go and watch The Secret DVD. Because it is the absolute, it's a visual, you guys. It's visual. I love visual stuff, right? I'm a visual person. So it's a visual of how laws of attraction work, how we can consume ourselves with so much negative stuff, not knowing that we're putting all those negative things out there in the atmosphere only to return back to us. I love it only because of the visual, and it just shows how if you're gonna think all these negative things, then those are the things that's gonna continue to come back to you on a regular basis. One more thing I want to give to you guys to read, called "What to Say to Yourself." What to say to yourself with Shared Hemsetter. What to say to yourself when you're talking or something like that. And it is Shared Hemsetter. It's a book that you guys got to read. It is absolutely amazing. It does wonders for your mindset. You have to be like, look, you guys, for real. Like, if you're going to be a business owner, you got to get your mind right. Like your mind, and it's not like, okay, I did it one time, I should be good. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to do it all the time. Right? You should always be building yourself up. You should always be learning more. You should always be gaining more knowledge. You should always be doing things that's going to help you. Because guess what? As you get to greater levels and go higher and higher and higher in business and in life, there are things that are going to be coming at you that's going to question you. All those negative thoughts going to be hit you bam, 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 left and right. And as a result of this, you have to be prepared. And so you got to put your fighting gloves on. And how you put your fighting gloves on, you just got to have those resources at your disposal that you can go back to. I am such and such. I will such and such. I can such and such. And do it. And you have to tell yourself this on a regular basis. And not only are you telling yourself this, but you're reading material that's going to help get your mindset together. Yeah, I said it, together. Okay, I said that. I did at the conference, at the Millionaires Conference. So, anyway, so in addition to getting your transforming your mind, the last thing, you guys, number 3, is you're gonna have to transform your destination. See, when you're walking in darkness and you don't really know who you are, or you're dealing with pain, or you're dealing with brokenness, and you're trying to get yourself together, you don't really know where your purpose is in that moment. But my, do I have a story to tell you guys. At the end of that transformation is glory. And when I say it's like heaven on earth, because when you know your purpose, when God gives you directives and He lines it up step by step, it is absolutely amazing. Never would I have thought that I would have authored a book. Never, never, because I was so private. I was so private. I did not want nobody to know what happened to me. I didn't want anybody to know that I had struggled with self-esteem issues. I didn't want anybody to know those innermost parts of me, those weak parts that I felt at the time. There were weak parts of me. I never wanted to share that with anybody. I did not want anybody to ever know those things. Never would I ever thought that I would have authored a book about my journey to help other women for their journey. Never would I ever thought that I would be here speaking to you. Never did I ever think that I would be coaching other women in the forefront, helping them to get from where I was to where they're trying to go and start businesses. Never did I ever see that when I was in my vulnerable state of being. Never did I see that. Never did I have a thought about being this person. I would have never gotten on a stage, never been in front of people. I was good in the background. But God is pushing me somewhere else. And when I tell you, you guys, since then, like He's lining it up. Bam, 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 bam. Step by step by step. So when I tell you transformation to elevate your life starts with you transforming yourself, transforming your mind, and then your destination transform. Because I thought I was just going to open up a counseling center and just do therapy. But God has something else greater for me. That I'm not fit to just be sitting behind a desk hearing people's problems and helping them to work through their problems. I got greater calling. I need to go help women. I need to help coach women. I need to help them get to the next level. I need to share my story so that they can be able to share their story and so that they can begin to walk in everything that God has given them and purposed them to do. Your destination changes, you guys. So yes, you might think that you might supposed to be, a hairstylist. I'm just giving an example. I'm not offending anybody. I'm just giving an example because you could be a master hairstylist. You might think that that's what you're supposed to be, but guess what? God might say no. At the end of your transformation, that might not be where He have you behind. He might have you just owning the shop. He might have you teaching classes. He might have you coaching women on how to going out there into at-risk communities, training girls on how to, do hair and do things so that they can become, so that they can get money to help out and do this and do that. You never know what's out there for you when you start to walk in your purpose. You never know what God has for you when you become complete and whole. But guess what? It starts with you. It starts with you, lady. I'm talking to you. So this is for you if you desire to have more. This is for you if you know that you secretly struggle with your self-confidence, your self-esteem issues, and you know that it could hinder you later on. This is for you if you know that there are some things that happen in your life that you haven't dealt with and you need to let go and you're ready. That's the key word. You're ready to do it because you're ready to make an impact in your life, your family's life, in your business. This is for you. And this is for you because guess what? You deserve it. You deserve it. So if I can support you in being able to do that in any way, what I would like for you to do is you can contact me via Facebook on my Facebook page at D.Renee, the Transformation Specialist. And you can click and book a session with me, and I can support you to help you get on your journey to where you desire to be. Or you can go to my website at drenee.org, and you can do the same thing there. But what's important and what I want you to understand is that the transformation starts with you. And no matter what it is that happened to you that wasn't your fault, it's never too late to be where you desire to be. But the transformation and the healing process starts with you so that you can continue to have, so you can have better relationships, so that you can have a better business, so that you can build authentic relationships, right? One based off of care, genuine care and concern, and not out of lack and need. Because you build relationships when you start a business. You build relationships with other women. You build relationship with the people that you need in order to help supply whatever it is that you need for your business. Woman, you are not alone. We have all gone through things in our lives. But guess what? We have to be woman enough also to know that we need to change some things about us because of some hurt, some past hurt, some past things that happened to us that we have to let go, that we have to deal with, and we have to learn the tools and things that we need in order to help us move forward in life. And it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you ladies today at the Millionaires Conference. And I thoroughly hope that you take full advantage of the opportunity that you have to hear all of these awesome speakers, to take everything back that you have and use it, because that's what was key. You have to implement. You have to do something with it. It does absolutely no good for you to get this information and allow it to sit in a corner on a notepad, because this is what the notepad you used that day when you came to the Millionaires Conference and you never picked it up after that. You guys, I am D.Renee, the Transformation Specialist, and it's been an absolute pleasure to serve you guys this evening. You all have a great day.